So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 4 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today include Spider-Man 2 PlayStation 5 and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, PlayStation 5 Slim launch timeframe in 2023, Fromsoftware PS5 exclusive, and Sony is dominating. First, yes or no, do you see yourself buying a PlayStation 5 Slim or not? We've talked about this before, and I'm curious to see as time passes if people change their minds for or against the PlayStation 5 Slim. So you guys let me know. Yes or no, do you see yourself buying a PlayStation 5 Slim or not? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, Sony is dominating. Reading from Forbes, PlayStation is still a hit machine while Xbox hasn't even started catching up. God of War Ragnarok has done the impossible. It's arrived and matched the astronomically high scores of God of War 2018, a 94 on Metacritic, rarefied air in the video game space where only a few series have ever reached. It is the latest in a long series of absolutely stellar first-party exclusive games from PlayStation. The list is just massive. The Uncharted series, The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, Bloodborne, and now 2 God of War games that are some of the best reviewed titles in 2 generations. Microsoft's Xbox, which is excelling in the subscription value space with Xbox Game Pass, still has yet to not just match this, but really even start attempting to match this. They went an entire generation without many meaningful exclusive titles, and I'd argue none on the level of Sony's offerings. The best exclusives for Xbox across 2 generations now have been Forza titles, and those are heavily reliant on players liking the racing genre in the first place. So the article continues to say that Microsoft is taking the steps to fix this with buying studios, but the process to release games from those studios that they bought is extremely slow, which is true. I don't think anybody would deny that. Next year for Xbox, we're getting Starfield, Redfall, and Forza Motorsport 8, and that's just the start to Sony's Demon's Souls remake, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Returnal, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, The Last of Us Part 1, and of course, God of War Ragnarok. This is also outside upgraded versions of Uncharted, Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding, of course. But Xbox also had Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, and Psychonauts 2, but really Halo Infinite didn't hit like it should have. Forza, which the article mentions, and Psychonauts 2 were solid titles. Still, they're greatly outmatched by what Sony has been able to deliver in the last 2 years, which is the point of the article. Next year should be interesting though for both platforms, and I'm looking forward to that battle. It's been a while. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Fromsoftware PlayStation 5 exclusive. So for some time, we've heard about Fromsoftware working on a PlayStation 5 exclusive. This is through rumors and reports. Things got a bit more serious when it was confirmed that Sony now owns 14% of Fromsoftware. Recently, it was discovered by gaming analyst William R. Aguilar that there is an updated financial reports document for Kadokawa, the parent company of Fromsoftware. In that document, you can specifically see a section that mentions Tencent, the other part owner of Fromsoftware, along with Sony. For the Sony part, though, it states this: capabilities to deploy IP in games, film, and various other media in the world market. So Sony will assist in deploying games, and considering Sony also owns Sony Pictures, of course, and Sony Music, that is the other mediums that Fromsoftware can tap into to expand their reach. As for the potential PlayStation 5 exclusive, according to Special Nick, it's another Souls game that is not a Demon's Souls sequel or Bloodborne sequel, but rather a new IP. I'm personally not a Souls fan, but I've been wanting to give Bloodborne a try, especially after finishing Thymesia, which I've heard is similar to Bloodborne, and I personally enjoyed my time with Thymesia. But you guys let me know if you're interested in Fromsoftware's PlayStation 5 exclusive or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the third story of the video, Spider-Man 2023. So this was an interesting story that I didn't see coming. Reading from CBR, if a new report is to be believed, Marvel fans can expect to see 2 beloved versions of Peter Parker, Spider-Man, in the highly anticipated sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. According to the Cosmic Circus, multiple sources state that Sony Pictures Animation's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse will feature both the Marvel Cinematic Universe's version of Peter Parker, played in live action by Tom Holland, and the PlayStation Spider-Man Universe's version of Peter Parker voiced in the video games by Yuri Lowenthal. So I was personally already looking forward to Across the Spider-Verse, and of course really enjoyed Into the Spider-Verse, but adding the PlayStation Spider-Man in there is going to be interesting. It doesn't seem like we know how much of him will be in the movie, but I hope it's more than just a few lines where he just swings in and says something, or it's like, oh, I don't know, something random, and he's just gone. It would be interesting to see Spider-Verse, Miles and Peter, PlayStation Peter, and even PlayStation Miles get into the mix if that ever happens. I don't see any mention of PlayStation Miles being involved here, but that would also be interesting as well. I know we haven't seen Spider-Man 2 gameplay for the PlayStation 5, but I'm really hopeful these two line up for next year, because that would be such a great year for Spider-Man fans, and I think Sony is trying to deliver that, especially Insomniac as well, since they're still targeting 2023. I'm just a bit excited for next year in terms of Spider-Man, and really hope these two both launch next year. And now diving into the final story of the video, PlayStation 5 Slim release date. Reading from website The Leak, there's been talk, especially hope, for a lighter, slimmer version of the PlayStation 5 since its launch. According to our source, it is indeed getting a smaller, redesigned version next year, but it might not be referred to as slim. There's a reason why the PlayStation 5 is bulky. The CPU, RAM, and SSD controller require a lot of space. There have been minor upgrades like one earlier this year, including shrinking the internals of the console, but not enough to change the encasement. This upcoming version has a new design with a significant change to its exterior. Our source claims that this new slim version uses a die shrink treatment that reduces the size of the console enough to validate a new design by Sony. It uses less voltage and therefore runs cooler. It's also more lightweight because of it. The article goes on to point out that production will start in Q2 2023 and release in Q3 2023. I'm not really familiar with this website, but credible leaker Tom Henderson mentioned this website this morning to align with his report from earlier this year that Sony is set to release a single model PlayStation 5 that gives players the option to attach a disc drive. So you can buy the PlayStation 5 without a disc drive, and later on, if you want to add the disc drive, you don't need to get a different PlayStation 5, you just get this attachment. I will add that Tom does claim this site is using his report from earlier this year and they just changed it up a bit, but really two people could be getting similar information. The website The Leak also doesn't mention anything about a detachable drive like Tom Henderson does. Either way, it looks like a new console is coming in 2023 that's different from what we have right now. But you guys let me know if you're excited for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the movie coming out next year, or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps. So subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with the year of Spider-Man. Next year is going to be interesting if both Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 5 and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse both released in the same year. I'm excited for that. If you are as well, destroy the comment section with the year of Spider-Man, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.